Hello, and welcome to the podcast. Today's episode is a companion to the LinkedIn infographic, The Physiological and Psychological Impact of Stress. I highly recommend you taking a moment to download it if you haven't already. Today, we will be exploring the physiological and psychological impact of stress and gain a deeper understanding of what stress is and where it comes from. So let's go ahead and dive right in. To begin, let's define what stress is. Stress is a natural response that occurs when we face challenges, demands, or threats in our environment. It triggers a series of physiological and psychological changes in our body and minds. During a stressful event, your body releases chemicals called hormones, such as adrenaline. Adrenaline gives you that burst of energy that helps you cope and respond to stress. For example, one kind of stress is that jolt you may feel when a car pulls out in front of you. This jolt of adrenaline helps you quickly hit the brakes to avoid that accident. This stress response is your body's way of protecting you. But in modern society, we don't only feel stress when we are in danger. Stress can arise from various sources. And people feel stress from many different things. Some examples of stressful events that you may experience on a daily basis are getting stuck in traffic or missing the bus, having an argument with your partner or spouse, or a deadline at work. Stress is an inherent part of our lives, and how we perceive and respond to it plays a crucial role in our well-being. The physiological impact of stress. When we experience stress, our body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which prepares us for a fight or flight response. This response increases our heart rate, elevates our blood pressure, and boosts the release of glucose for energy. Our bodies are well equipped to handle stress in small doses. But when that stress becomes long-term or chronic, it could seriously affect our bodies. Prolonged exposure to stress can have adverse effects on our health. Stress symptoms may be affecting your health even though you might not realize it. You may think an illness is to blame for that irritating headache, your frequent insomnia, or your decreased productivity at work. But stress can actually be the cause of it because it can make you sick. Some other physiological impacts of stress to be aware of are fatigue, poor sleep, headaches, heart palpitations, abdominal pain, muscle pain, and a weakened immune system. A U.S. national study reported that 60 to 80% of doctors' visits may have a stress-related component. That's the majority. Stress has also been linked to a higher risk for disease such as cardiovascular disease and certain types of cancer. The psychological impact of stress. Stress doesn't just affect us physically. It also has a profound impact on our mental well-being. Chronic stress can lead to feelings of anxiety, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. It can also contribute to the development of mental health conditions such as depression. Additionally, because of the way stress impacts our sleep, making it harder to get restorative sleep and leading to further mental and emotional strain. Consider a dedicated employee who experiences chronic stress due to a toxic work environment. Their stress level gradually leads to feelings of anxiety and worthlessness. Over time, their mental well-being deteriorates, affecting their ability to perform optimally and leading to a decline in job satisfaction, which eventually leads them to quit. This example highlights the psychological toll that stress can take on individuals, as well as potential repercussions for organizations in terms of decreased employee morale and engagement. Differences in stress response. It is important to note that stress can affect men and women differently. Studies show that women are more likely than men to experience symptoms of stress. Women who are stressed are more likely than men who are stressed to experience depression and anxiety. Experts do not fully know the reason for the difference, but it may be related to how men and women's bodies process stress hormones. Long-term stress, especially, is more likely to cause problems with moods and anxiety in women. Research suggests that women may experience stress more intensely due to various factors, including hormone fluctuation and societal expectations. For instance, women often face the challenge of balancing multiple roles, such as being the caregiver and also having the professional demands. This can lead to heightened levels of stress. On the other hand, men may exhibit different stress responses. They may be more prone to internalizing stress, experiencing symptoms such as irritability, anger, or withdrawal. Societal norms often discourage men from openly expressing their stress, which can further impact their psychological well-being. Throughout this course, we recognize the importance of addressing differences in stress responses and management. Noting these differences is important for recognizing the stress symptoms in yourself. Stress appears differently in everyone. For me, for example, stress first affects my stomach and my sleep. I started having difficulty going to sleep and staying asleep and trouble eating. If I let this go on, it will eventually progress into me getting sick. I feel as if my body is trying to turn me off so I can get some rest. Because I'm aware of my stress symptoms, I'm able to intervene before my body gets to the point of shutting down mode. Which is why it's important to identify what those signs and symptoms look like in your body. Coping with stress. Recognizing the impact of stress is the first step towards effectively managing it. Through this course, we will explore breathing exercises, movement practices, and stress reduction strategies that have shown positive outcomes in reducing stress levels and improving job performance. Thank you for joining us in this podcast episode on the physiological and psychological impact of stress. Remember, stress is a natural part of life, but it's essential to recognize its effects and develop healthy coping mechanisms. Continue in the course to delve deeper into understanding workplace stressors and their impact on job performance.